It's been a year since 700,000 Rohingya Muslims began streaming out of northern Rakhine State in Buddhist-majority Myanmar, turning this stretch of Bangladesh into the world's largest refugee camp. Today, the UN released a report saying the Rohingya were fleeing state-sponsored genocide, the most serious charge that the UN can make against a government. The report calls for Myanmar's top generals, including the Commander-in-Chief, to face prosecution. Myanmar has justified the crackdown as a response to attacks by Rohingya insurgents, and the government continues to deny all accusations of ethnic cleansing. Rosina says she was 16 when the soldiers came to her village. They burned homes, tortured and executed the men, and raped the women. She asked to cover her face with a veil and to use a different name. The military says women like Rosina invented their claims, but she lives with the evidence. Rosina fled to the camps with members of her family, relying on limited aid and surviving monsoons and disease outbreaks. Now a 17-year-old single mother, she faces an additional hardship. Her relatives have refused to accept her child. She's now just trying to get by until she can go back to her village in Myanmar. Here, refugees live in overcrowded conditions in an already overpopulated country, and Bangladesh is eager to find a long-term solution. In May, the UN secretly brokered a deal between Myanmar and Bangladesh to pave the way for the Rohingya to return. But the refugees weren't consulted. Mohibullah, who was a teacher before he fled Myanmar a year ago, says they want the military to be held to account before they can go back. He and his volunteers have been gathering data, images and eyewitness testimonies in hopes of building a case for the International Criminal Court. How many cases do you know about of rape?
Rape a day, 1,834 cases.
According to Mohibullah's records, the village of Tulatoli, also known as Menji, suffered one of the worst massacres.
This place.
That's Tulatoli.
Yeah.
And this is where 850 killed, 127 raped. So you're saying it's very organized. The military says...
The commander knows.
You don't think they could have been acting by themselves?
Yeah. They cannot shoot one bullet without order.
How do you get any kind of legal justice for that? There's no way to have information about the people who perpetrated this crime.
We know that the people, BGP, Sector 4, Battalion 99, 20, 2000.
So you know which units?
Yeah, this is Unit 99. Now we have enough evidence. We already sent through the Bangladesh to the ICC.
What do you want from the ICC?
Oh, to take the action according to law.
Like Mohibullah, human rights organizations are also building a case for the ICC. But Myanmar isn't a signatory to the treaty that would put it under the jurisdiction of the ICC. And investigators haven't even been given access to northern Rakhine State, where the killings took place. To show us they had nothing to hide, Myanmar's government invited us on a rare trip for foreign journalists. Handlers escorted us to a carefully orchestrated 3-day agenda. The first stop was a border district where many Rohingya refugees used to live.
Ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Rohingya want to return here, provided that the authorities take steps to ensure that the persecution doesn't continue. But right now, this official, an administrator for a district where mass killings took place, won't admit anything like that happened at all. What's your response to claims that there was a deliberate strategy to push the Muslim residents of this area
ထွက်သွားတယ်ထွက်သွားတယ်ဆိုတာတော့ဘာကြောင့်လဲတော့မသိဘူးဆက်ထားပါမယ်နော်အဲ့ဒီလူမျိုးပုံမှာဆရာဘယ်လိုမျိုးဆရာပြောချင်လဲရှိပါဘူးသူ့ကြောင့်တဲ့သူ့ကြောင့်တဲ့เนี่ยပြောရရှိတာ
Did you see villages being burned?
ရွာတွေမီးရှို့နေတာတော့မီးလောင်တာတော့ဆရာမြင်ခဲ့လားမြင်လေကျွန်တော်ဒီရုံးမှာရှိတယ်ဗျာရွာကြီးရောက်နေတယ်
When we managed to get away from our handlers and convoy, we saw why the Rohingya feel they have little to return to. So we just drove past a site that looked like it used to be a village. We're just going to walk in and see if we can get close to it. These are all places that used to be houses here, but they've been completely destroyed. There's nobody here at all. One of the things we heard about with Rohingya villages in this part of Rakhine State was that they were burned down to make sure that the Rohingya didn't come back. So you can actually see here in the corner there's ripped up pages of the Quran, so this is definitely what used to be a mosque. We also tried to get to that village of Minji, also known as Tulatoli, where reports said a large-scale massacre took place. So our contacts in the refugee camps in Bangladesh have just sent us over WhatsApp a map of the village of Tulatoli, where they say this massacre took place. They've actually drawn the site of where the mass grave is containing the bodies of those that were killed. We were able to find the crossroads for the village, but our driver refused to turn. So it's Minji. Minji. The handler came back for us when he saw us stop.
Okay.
So that's the turn off for Minji.
This is mini lah.
Okay, Minji what thing?
Oh, mini over there.
It's really important that we go there. We'd really like to see it, and it's a place that we've asked for repeatedly.
So this time we have no time.
Are they hiding something in this place? Is there something they don't want us to see?
Nobody go there.
Nobody goes there.
I know
Why?
that. I know that.
Why does nobody go there?
I don't know exactly, but
That's why we want to go there, because nobody's been. That's a place that is important for us.
But this trip we are not suddenly changed to plan.
We were unable to reach the alleged mass graves, just like other outside observers. What the officials did want to show is that they had built fully staffed reception centres and were totally prepared to welcome the refugees back. The UN has repeatedly criticised Myanmar authorities for failing to ensure conditions are safe for the Rohingya. But immigration officials say it's not their fault that the refugees haven't returned. Can you guys understand why they might not want to come back? I mean, this place, it looks like a prison camp, and it's run by the same people that they accuse of persecuting and killing them in the first place. Even if the Rohingya did start to come back, they likely wouldn't get the legal recognition they seek, including citizenship. Myanmar's government actually considers them illegal immigrants from Bangladesh. With Myanmar refusing to acknowledge wrongdoing or the existence of the Rohingya ethnic group, the refugees' future remains uncertain. This is no man's land, a strip on the edge of Myanmar's border with Bangladesh. The 5,000 Rohingya living here would likely be the first to be returned, since they're within Myanmar's boundaries. They know that the government has said they can return, but they remain in limbo, unwilling to leave the country but too fearful to go back to their villages. Do any of you guys speak English?
We think it's still not safe for us.
You're afraid of the military?
Yeah.
Why?
It's still not in action against the perpetrator.
What kind of action?
According to law, international law, so many people have been killed. Nobody want to live this bad condition.